2, you expand more. You go to from 20, 30 upwards to about 100, and then from phase 3 is like from 100 upwards to a few thousands, and then phase 4 is usually more than that.
In Nigeria, the regulation of clinical trials falls within the mandate of NAFDAC.
NAFDAC, first and foremost, has the mandate to make sure that pharmaceutical products that are used in this country are safe and effective. This includes making sure that clinical trials are done on the appropriate population in this country. We regulate clinical trials by coordinating with the national, that's NREC, to make sure that clinical trials are done according with global best practices.
The process of regulating clinical trials in Nigeria involves the sponsor submitting an application based on NAFDAC laid down guidelines. So when it comes to our office, we go review these guidelines, review the protocol, and review what they call investigations brochure. If we find this complying with our regulatory requirement, we issue what they call authorization. If it does not meet the requirements, we write back to the sponsor to comply. When we give authorization, it's a separate thing for the sponsor to come back to ask for permission to bring in that particular sample, because it's not the same product that is being used in Nigeria that you're bringing in. Even if the product has been registered, but you're bringing it for a particular purpose, you seek for a different import permit to bring that particular product to Nigeria. That's part of safeguarding, that is that particular trials. So when you start the trial, before commencing the trial, we now give you a notice that you should let us know a week before you commence the trial. So when they write to us, we now go there, mobilize our staff to the site and see the commencement. And we've stipulated in NAFDAC that throughout the lifespan of a trial, we visit that trial site 3 times. That is the announced visit. We have announced and unannounced visits. They call it good clinical practice inspection.
The regulation of clinical trials by NAFDAC has been enhanced with the help of the Federal Ministry of Health.
The federal government now created what they call National Ethics Committee. They call them NREC, National Health Research Ethics Committee, which is seated in the Federal Ministry of Health. And they've really complemented our work because they are responsible for regulating the composition and activities of the various institutional review boards. So before they set them up, they make sure they put them through the basic good clinical trial guidelines, basic GCP. So if somebody has the basic knowledge of GCP, at least its level of compliance will be quite encouraging. So they make sure they put them through this certification before they now approve their formation. So they are coming on board. We've seen tremendous change when we get to the site, because they've really reduced the number of compliance we give to them. That's the number of violations they've done.
The clinical trial enterprise is an area that offers a world of opportunities.
Some of the benefits of clinical trial include making sure that the quality of the drugs are safe. For a country like Nigeria, which has a very good population, very sizable population, a different population from the population that is obtainable in Europe or other populations, we need to conduct clinical trials in our own population here. We are trying to review our guidelines to make Nigeria the choice destination for clinical trials, first and foremost, because we also attract investment into our clinical trial program. We want people to bring, to build our infrastructure, to provide good quality jobs to medical doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and all other personnel who will be involved in the clinical trial programs. But there is a lot of funding out there for clinical trials.
The capacity building workshop organized by NAFDAC is a step in the right direction, aimed at ensuring that clinical trials is developed to full capacity.
We know that NAFDAC has done a great job in fighting counterfeit drugs. But at the same time, that is just one aspect of drug regulation, compliance. We also want a situation that the drugs you are serving Nigerians is of benefit to them. is safe to them, it's efficacious, can cure the disease you want to cure. And again, specifically, like I mentioned in one of the papers that I presented, it's not every drug that is effective in equally every person from different ethnic regions. Certain drugs are not very active or efficacious in black people, or even in Japanese or whatever. So that is why some ethnic regions would want certain drugs to be tested on their people before you authorize them. We think that NAFDAC should now have that capacity to be able to carry on regulation of phase 1 through to phase 4 trials.
Stakeholders